trumpet slares the drums, here he comes. Hopalong Cassidy, here.
I was headed for Frank Sawyer's construction camp with Army credentials signed by Major Rollins, Commandant of Fort O'Reilly, Arizona Territory. My orders were to troubleshoot a series of raids on supplies and equipment which had halted the proposed telegraph line linking a network of Army posts between Tombstone and O'Reilly. Foreman Jack Lawson claimed it was almost impossible to hire back men who had been scared off their job. Frank Sawyer and his daughter Jane had already overspent their low bid for the network building franchise when they received the $25,000 subsidy which Major Rollins had persuaded the War Department to grant them. Big John Bragg, an influential citizen of Tombstone and a pioneer trader of the territory, had been in on my conference with Major Rollins.
Hello, Bragg.
Hello.
We got the money from the government.
Good. And Hopalong Cassidy will be here after he brushes up on his telegraphy.
I certainly hope he can get to the bottom of this mess.
Oh, look, Frank. As far as I'm concerned, it's the Apaches in back of those raids on the telegraph.
But they're afraid of what they call devil's lightning.
Jane's right. It's more apt to be a group of white men out to grab control for their own private profit.
I think Dad's right.
Frank Sawyer?
That's right.
The name's Cassidy.
Oh.
Hopalong Cassidy.
I was just getting the facts and figures together for you and I to go over.
I'll have to wait till I get back. I'm going on to Tombstone.
Today?
It's the way I work, Sawyer. You've got the government subsidy from the War Department, haven't you?
Yes, it's in the safe. You can draw on it as you need it.
Good. I'll take it all. Now.
$25,000? But Cassidy, there's a wagon load of supplies on the way. Enough to last till we move to the next camp.
I've been hired to ramrod this job, Sawyer. I'm going to line up the men and the material to see it through.
Well, of course, I guess you know what you're doing. I'll get it for you. That's Tombstone asking confirmation of the supply order I dispatched yesterday. Answer, will you? Well, why don't you answer?
We're not through yet. The thing is still ticking.
These credentials say that you're thoroughly trained in telegraphy.
Yeah, sure. So what?
So you'd know Tombstone was merely repeating their request. So I don't think you're Hopalong Cassidy.
The next day, that construction camp was a discouraging sight. I had no way of knowing that Sawyer's daughter and his construction foreman had just returned from a simple burial in that lonely wilderness.
Did you say that killer wore a black outfit and rode a white horse?
Yes, why?
How do you do, miss?
That's a gun, mister. You've got some questions to answer.
Hey, I'm afraid you're making a mistake. My name's Cassidy.
You admit that? After murdering my father and stealing $25,000?
Murdering your father? I don't...
Covering. I'll see if he's got any of that money on him.
Hey, wait a minute now. I was sent here, but...
You'll be sent to Kingdom Come if you don't stand still now. He doesn't have it on him.
Miss, really, I don't know anything about any money.
I saw you ride away from here.
Now talk, mister. Where is her? I'll let you have it.
No, Lawson. I'll wire the marshal at Tombstone. There's been enough killing.
I'll take the responsibility for this one.
Stop or I'll shoot!
I wouldn't do that if I was you, ma'am. Hi, Hoppy.
Hi, Red. I'm just about to be executed without benefit of trial. Excuse me. Miss, this is Red Connors, my ranch foreman. Before I left Fort O'Reilly, I sent word for him to meet me here.
I done a lot of ornery things in my day, ma'am, but working for a killer ain't one of them. You got Hoppy all wrong.
Then try to explain this.
That letter floored me. It was worded exactly like the credentials and orders I had received in strict confidence at Fort O'Reilly. You think you'd better take that message?
Mr. Lawson, our foreman, doesn't operate a telegraph.
Oh, well, I'll take it while you look at my credentials that Major Rollins gave me. This letter's a forgery. Well, does the official seal of the United States Army explain the difference?
I'm sorry.
So am I, Cassidy. But you've made this trip for nothing. Miss Jane's giving up. She's going home.
Everything is gone. What else can I do?
Well, do what your father would have done. Fight. Major Rollins told me that he taught you all he knew about engineering. This job was his dream. You can't give up now.
The Sawyer Construction Company's gone broke. The government won't gamble anymore.
Well, there's nothing wrong with private capital. Is your father's interest in this company for sale? Good. I'll wire the Tombstone Mercantile for an emergency loan. Banks have loaned money on the Bar 20 before.
Well, in that case, I'll go see if there are any of those poles I can salvage.
That message I took a while ago said there'd be a load of supplies in this afternoon. So I'll take this map and look over the survey. I want you to know I'm awfully sorry about your father.
Thank you.
See you later.
Say, Hoppy.
Yeah?
Bar 20's never borrowed a nickel from any bank, and you know it.
But Jane and her foreman don't know that. I had to do something to keep her walking off the job.
How long do you figure you can keep up a plan like this?
Well, till we get back some of the money and materials that have been stolen from the Sawyers back. I hope.
You got any ideas?
Red, those raiders had to get confidential information some way. And for a man who's not supposed to know anything about telegraphy, Lawson was mighty interested in those messages coming and going over that instrument. Huh?
There's a cayuse Lawson took off on.
And there's a horse that looks pretty much like Topper, too. Hey, this is getting to be right interesting.
Shall we trail Lawson or the other?
No, go after the one Lawson pulled away from that white horse. We might find that he's got a black outfit to go with it. Come on. Oh, never mind them. Wagon's safe. Turk Shams.
Didn't you run him out of Kansas?
Yeah. And he'd have known how to fake that outfit of mine and try to get even by framing me for murder, too. But he couldn't possibly have known the details of my credentials. Somebody had to forge those for him. See what he's got here. Well, probably part of that money stolen from Sawyer.
And I'll bet that Jack Lawson got the rest of it.
Wait a minute. What's the hurry?
Well, we saw Jack Lawson send him.
We're going to report we ran onto this by accident.
Well, can't he even tell Miss Jane you got her daddy's killer?
I'd like to, Red, but I don't want Lawson to know about this till I find out who he's working for. If he finds out now, we're right back where we started from.
What do you mean?
They can replace Lawson. These fellas are playing for big stakes. He's not smart enough or rich enough to boss this deal.
Well, who is?
That's only a guess as to who. But I'm beginning to get a brand new slant on why.
So?
So we're going to have a look in on that trading post at Burning Springs. We better do something about him. That night, after sneaking out of the camp and jimmying a window at the trading post, I was about to give up the search inside when I discovered the false bottom in one of the desk drawers.
Wire under this building to fence the bar 20.
Yeah? Hey, wait a minute. This book's got a list of a whole chain of trading posts. And the names of the men who were supposed to own them.
Well, what's so exciting about that?
Here, read these off to me.
Wait.
Come on, read them off.
Fort Smith Trading Post.
Yeah?
James Uniker.
Uniker? Yeah.
Sandstone Trading Post.
Yeah.
George,
Hold it. Somebody coming. Duck.
All right, you're covered. Come on out.
all tuckered out.
You can turn in now. Just give me that book.
What book?
The ledger I gave you at the trading post.
Gosh, Hoppy, I ain't got it. I used it to put out the light. Was it important?
Red, that ledger was written proof that Big John Bragg owns this whole string of trading posts. Those other names in there don't mean a thing.
Who's Big John Bragg?
Oh, never mind now. But if that man at the trading post recognized us, we're going to have to move fast.
What do you mean?
We'd have a tough time proving how much money John Bragg stands to lose by letting that telegraph get into the territory.
Well, don't worry, Hoppy. I'll think up something.
The next morning, Lawson made a point of reminding Jane that I hadn't received approval of the loan I requested. That gave me a good excuse for getting away from the camp. I told him I was going to look into the matter and signaled Red to follow as soon as he got a chance.
You dragged me all the way out here just to look at the scenery?
That's right. You better take a good look at it while it's still pretty. I expect something ugly to be added any minute.
That what you mean?
That's right. Now you know what Big John Bragg looks like. I sent for him last night.
Just to satisfy my curiosity, I'll bet. You sent for him?
Sure. But I did take the liberty of signing Jack Lawson's name to the telegram.
Mr. Cassidy, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That poor Jasper looks like he's been riding all night long.
Never underestimate the power of the telegraph, Mr. Connor. Now we'll see what happens to Mr. Lawson. Come on.
When are you going to start letting me in on your brainstorm?
Whenever you learn to stay awake. And when I get up on the pole, I'm going to throw this wire down. I want you to tie it off that steel stake down there.
You know, I never know what I'm doing till after I've got it done. I'm wide awake now and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what you're doing.
You will in a minute. Get off your horse and catch this wire. Here he comes. Hold on to it now. Tie it off that stake. Got it tight? All right.
Oh, Hoppy! Hoppy!
Little hot, huh? Take your hand off of that.
Hello, Byers.
Bragg, what's wrong?
Where's Lawson? He wired me to meet him here.
I don't know. I haven't seen him since Cassidy beat us to a supply shipment.
He hinted that Cassidy was getting wise to the setup.
And it was Cassidy.
What are you talking about?
2 thieves that broke in here last night. I caught them going through the desk.
Get rid of it. Take it away and hide it.
Big John, I'm sure glad you're here. Cassidy has raised enough money for Jane Sawyer to finish that line to Arribe.
How do you know?
I just intercepted a message from Tombstone Mercantile. Said the money was due to arrive by special messenger today. Now, if it gets here...
Where is Cassidy?
He's on his way to Tombstone, and he's bound to run into that messenger. But if I just had enough men...
Just a minute. If Cassidy was on his way to Tombstone, he'd have run into me. Did you wire me to meet you here this morning?
Why, no.
It's a trap.
What?
And I'm not going to take a chance of losing all the time and money I've got in this thing. We'll take cover on the outside. And if and when Cassidy rides up, we'll let him have it.
All right, back inside. Come on, get over there. Get over. You had a good idea, but you should have thought of it a little sooner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the War Department will, especially when they have proof of your reasons for conniving with a bunch of cutthroats to murder Frank Sawyer. Red, see if the other man's here. Yeah. Get over to the desk. Come on, get over there. You knew that the telegraph would make it unnecessary for the Army to maintain permanent garrisons in this string of forts. And that when those garrisons moved out, your contracts to feed the troops would be worth practically nothing. Contracts that you've been collecting thousands of legitimate dollars a year on.
Yeah, not to count the thousands he's been gouging out of the government by padding, overcharging, and shortwave.
That's very nice, Cassidy. But you're forgetting my standing in the Arizona Territory. I wonder whose word the law would take. Yours or mine?
Oh, we know you're a big man in the Arizona Territory. Influential with the law and all that. That's why we have to have proof. Keep them covered, Red.
Hold it! Sure, Cassidy. I've been fighting to keep the telegraph out of my territory. I reckon I'm guilty. All the things you figured out. Even of sending Turk Shans to pose as you and kill Frank Sawyer if need be. Yes, I risk everything to stop the War Department in their last fling with the telegraph. But I've won, Cassidy, and you won't be around to tell them how. While I'm still judge and jury here, get over there. I'm ordering an execution with a 3-man firing squad. Ready? Aim.
Here he comes!
Come in, Jane.
Miss Jane, you just robbed us of a couple of golden harps.
I only did what Hoppy told me to do. Kept out of sight and trailed the first man I saw leaving with the book.
Oh, that book means smooth sailing from now on. Fortunately, I forgot to tell you when to quit following the man. All right, Big John, on your feet. Get the others, Red. From here on, we'll let the telegraph take over. Come on. Hi, my young friends. You know, I've had a lot of letters in the last 6 or 8 months about you not wearing your raincoats and your overshoes. Now, the reason you don't see Hoppy in a raincoat and overshoes is that I live in a country where there isn't too much rain. But you must always, when it is raining, wear your raincoats and your overshoes. And there's one more thought, too. Don't leave them at the schoolhouse. Bring them home, will you? I'll see you next week. And be sure and wear those, will you?
There he goes on his way down the the moonlit trail to where cowboys range. Hopalong Cassidy, Hopalong Cassidy, he'll return soon again. There's no use to say goodbye until then. Hopalong Cassidy.